Are you white or peak white? Well, according to Elon Musk, it's a thing. And who is this thing? Jews, of course. David Christopher Kaufman, former New York Post editor and columnist, adjunct fellow at the Tel Aviv Institute. Well, DCK, I wish Nazi Germany would have gotten the memo.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, or actually, I think 2 days ago, Elon Musk declared in response to questions about potentially evaporating white people that Jews are white and Jews are peak white. And obviously, the folks on X didn't like that very much. As you can see from this Jew right here, not Jews are white. And so the question is, why is Elon Musk talking about Jews and whiteness in the first place?
Yeah, because, you know, the mere need to justify or explain white, brown, yellow, or pink, it's the Jewish part that is the quote-unquote issue here, right?
Exactly. I mean, of course, in the United States, you know, the majority of Jews are descended from Ashkenazi immigrants. So the majority of Jews are what we would consider white. But there are up to 1 million, you know, Jews of color, as they say in the U.S., 15% of the population. But for me, somebody who is a Jew of color, when people talk about race and Judaism, my biggest question always is, why are you asking that? What are your motivations here? What are you trying to get at? Because when we talk about Jews and race, particularly Jews and whiteness, it always reduces and always regresses and always devolves into a conversation about white privilege, about the benefits of being white in America, how Jews have profited off of the racial structure in America. But again, most crucially, it goes back to, it always is a tool to be used by the pro-Palestinian folks who always like to go to conversations about, you know, Jews as white colonizers.
So here again, we need also to address the situation in the term that whiteness is part of a specific political context here.
Right. Whiteness, when it comes to Jews, is always used as a tool. On the progressive side, you know, folks might want to say, well, it's used as a tool to explain, you know, why Jews might be more successful in America because they're part of, you know, the white majority. But really what it comes down to is it's used as a tool to discriminate against Jews and to legitimize anti-Semitism. If you look at what happened following the post-October 7th period, Jews experienced a massive surge in anti-Semitism on campuses and corporations across America. The DEI offices, the diversity offices in those institutions failed Jews dramatically. And one of the key reasons is that they said, Jews are white. They don't need our protection. So even as Jews emerged as the most maligned, discriminated, and violently discriminated group in America, these folks were saying to them, you don't need our protections because you are white.
So can you even win this battle? What is the battle? You know?
Well, the battle is to say that Jews are white, are considered white, so they owe something. They are obliged to something. They must compensate. They must pay for this whiteness. And typically, the most craven and diabolical result of that philosophy is that it justifies October 7th, it justifies jihadism, and it justifies pro-Palestinian movements that say Jews are white. They're coming into Palestine. They're stealing Palestinian land, folks who are brown of color, and hence they must be resisted against. They must be rebelled against. Hence, the actions of folks like Hamas and Islamic Jihad and what happened on October 7th are justified and legitimized because Jews are white. Any conversation around Jews and whiteness.
But the question is, in short, if you will, DCK, should one engage in the conversation to begin with, or just refrain from getting into it altogether?
That's the perfect way to end it, Ellie. No, people should not engage in this conversation. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the only color that Jews are is Jewish. And again, when folks ask me, you know, talk about Judaism, Jews, and whiteness, my always response is, what are your motivations here? What are you trying to get? Why does it matter?
Well, from one tan Jew to another, David Christopher Kaufman, thank you very much for keeping us not woke, but awake, right? There's a difference. Thank you very much for this.